Whoa, we yo, we oh, we yo. Oh, we yo, oh, we yo. Whoa, whoa, we yo. Oh, we yo, oh, we whoa. Oh, you. Why, oh, oh, you. Oh, yeah. Oh, you, boy, you. Oh, ooh, ooh, you. We go, we oh, oh. Oh, yo, oh, oh. Oh, yo, oh, oh. Yo, oh, oh, yo, oh, oh, yeah. Oh, oh, yo, oh, oh, yo, oh, yo, oh, yo, oh, yo, oh. Thank you. Hello everybody, it's Ymir over here. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful day, night, afternoon, noon, pre-noon, post-noon. Today we got a song. We got a new song that I worked on called HEARTSICK. HEARTSICK came right after a huge writer's block that I had that came pretty much after the happenings of Fimbulvetter. And the issue with Fimbulvetter was that it was so intense, so grandiose, so sound designically powerful in my mind that I was like, dang, what am I gonna do? I can't do anything after that. I couldn't, so I didn't. I created a song that was more pop-oriented, hence HEARTSICK. I decided to kind of take the liberties of this moment to kind of bring all of this hype back down to like a restarting point, right? We had Fimbulvetter being kind of like that final big high note of 2021, and now it's time to kind of go back, bring the stock market back down, crash it, you know, destroy it, let those stonks sink so that all of you guys can reinvest during this time when my value's at the lowest. Know what I mean? Perfect. Without further ado, let's get into the song. This is project 1 of 3. You see, I went so CPU heavy on this one, and it's a 3:33 second track. It's like, it's not crazy, but somehow it still decided to get nice and heavy. And here it is, all nice and organized. Wow. Dang, I really did organize this nice. Holy heck. Holy heck. Shall we start with the beginning? Oh. Slowly. Wait, pause to take a guru sip break. Guru. Back onto it. Yeah, there we go. Intro. Slowly. Verse. Reality's unfolding. It's unraveling. If only I could turn back the days, take back this fatal mistake. I'm feeling nostalgic here. Why do you hold me? Why? Like you always owned me. Oh, dang. What? Every time I try to escape, you bring out the tape, then I bite till it breaks. I must be insane, 'cause I... Dang, okay, so this is a song about some toxic relationshipy kind of stuff going on. Woo-wee! Yeah, so with that kind of nature, I remember I wanted to juxtapose the production with something a little bit more darker, because I felt like this wasn't going more for like the really dark kind of vibes. It was going more for that kind of moody kind of thing. So I was like, all right, let me try playing around with a subject that could be a little bit more dark and intense, and something that is, of course, super relatable, you know? Toxic relationships. A lot of us go through it. The verse. We start with this little pad thing over here. What is it? It's a pad thing. That's all it is. It is a pad. What was it before? The same thing. So nothing changed there. Just a pad thing with some harmonic content to spice it up. And then we get to the first thing over here. This is the vocal glitch pad.
Okay, so if I remember, which one is this? No, that's not this. Is it? Huh. I might have deleted the original version of this. Okay, then let me try to kind of reconceptualize what I was playing with. Vocal Cave Song Studio Second Phrase. Okay, something I got from Splice, and I basically went and kind of added a bunch of glitchy elements to it. Reverbed it, put a filter on it. See, like it kind of starts, it like reverses in. You hear it? I had, I think, like crystallizer or something, and then I started filtering it down. And then from there, I kind of like started to slowly refilter it upwards. It was like a low pass filter, going up, going up, going up, and then it slowly brings it up. It's a very like dense kind of sounding thing. Did a little EQ on it, you know, to kind of take out some of that. Oh, that a lot of mud underneath there, right? Cut that out. So we had that, and we also had, of course, the timeless, the illustrious, the beautiful Lekko piano doing what Lekko does best, the felt stuff. And I felt it in my bones, I swear. Oh, beautiful. All right, so this is another print. Let me go find the original. Okay, with this bad boy, it originally sounded like this. Little muddy, right? Put a little Gulfoss. This is magical EQ sorcery. Put that on, get rid of some of that low end, and then Squasher, basically an OTT. I'm doing a lot of downwards compression on the 3 different bands, but a little bit of upwards compression on the mid band here, going from around 64 hertz to 700 hertz, just to get some tame to tighten that middle range without it. Like super, super muddy, right? Cleans it up, brings up some of the weird, unique elements in the top register. Like all of the, kind of like the elements of a felt piano, like all the hammers and the hits and stuff. Tamed more of that with Smooth Operator. I got that 200 hertz because it was a thick frequency. I had to get rid of that. And then I was like, you know, it sounds like a basic piano. Let me try a little Altar Boy. Beautiful. Cool thing about Altar Boy is did some weird phase shifting things, screwed around with it, like takes away some of the muddiness as well. Makes it sound more kind of like exciting on the stereo field, right? You can hear kind of like playing around with like the whole space there. So more ambient stuff. Put it with the glitch pad. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Right? So after that, we got some
Slowly, reality's unfolding.
Hell yeah, it is.
If only I could turn back the days, take back this fatal mistake.
Okay, so for the vocals, I did a lot this time around. I was like, all right, this is a more pop-centric kind of thing in my head. I gotta do a heck ton of vocals. These are all the vocals. All of this. That's 36 tracks of Vocal-ity, you see. No, it's not that much. Sorry. It's probably like roughly 20 tracks. Because I did like a lot of like exporting down and the tracks are still there. So yeah, maybe around 20 tracks. All right, it's not too bad. We got the main vocal over here.
Slowly, reality's unfolding. If only.
All right, I'm going to do something a little bit wild. I'm going to keep the freeze files. I'm going to open up this main verse so we can hear it. So listen to this bad boy.
Slowly.
Here, start from here.
Slowly.
Smooth Operator.
Reality.
Yeah, let's start it from the beginning here. Why not? This is how it sounded dry.
Slowly.
And, okay, wait. Mute all of these. Damn. There we go.
Slowly.
Kind of muddy. This is my SM7B. So being a dynamic microphone, being the SM7B, it has a really nice mid-range to it, right? So obviously, not being a condenser mic, it's going to lose a little bit of the sheen. But that's also kind of the beauty of this you have a much more darker tone to work with. And I think it worked really well for this track. Also, I was lazy. That's the real answer. I'm sorry. Smooth operator to get rid of some of the low end. 200, once again.
Slowly,
I
realities unfold.
had a Pro G gate. Didn't use it.
Only I could turn back.
Because what I did is I did a little bit of direct offline processing to go and get rid of some of the noise. And once the noise was out, I was like, all right, well, I don't really need this gate. I already clean up these cuts anyway. So, like, everything is cut properly. I do that manually because it's fun. It's kind of like a nice little break. Compressor! And it's an 1176 style compressor. As you know, 1176 style compressors give that nice distortion when you drive it up a bit. Had it at like a high ratio.
Realities unfolding.
It's not even doing anything.
If only I could turn back the days.
It's not even doing anything. Here I am thinking I'm using it for the saturation part of it. I'm not. I'm using it for volume. Look at me. Slap another compressor. I love this compressor. This is a Steinberg compressor. I use it on this one preset called Lead Vox in Your Face. It's so good.
Slowly, realities unfolding.
On.
If only I could turn back the days.
I love this compressor. And out of all of the compressors I have, I feel like it's the only one that allows me to rotate between peak compression and RMS compression, which it analyzes either the peaks or the RMS, and you can rotate in between that. You can blend between that. I stuck with this one for a long time that I love it because it was the stock plugin. It was like, oh, okay, I have to learn how to use this. This is a great plugin. It's a great plugin. Anyway, so I slapped that one, lead vocal in your face, easy preset, slap it on. Pro multi-band. What am I doing with this?
Slowly,
Take it off.
realities unfolding.
Yeah, now I'm treating the compressor over here as like more of like a tonal compressor. And it starts to bring out some of the sheen of the high end and stuff like that. And I really despised anything between 300 hertz to 2000 hertz. That's crazy. Whatever.
Slowly, realities unfolding.
To be fair, it's not even going that hard.
If only I could turn back.
It's pretty high on the threshold.
Take back this fatal mistake.
I probably could have managed this better, but Then you got Gulfas live. The Holy Grail. Once again, welcome back.
Realities unfolding.
Literally cleaning up. Classic. Taming most of those resonant peaks. It's basically like I'm treating it like a soothe plugin. That's all I'm doing it for. And then Neutron. Don't share. I don't want it. Thank you.
Realities unfolding.
Doing a little bit of excitement.
If only I could turn back the days, take back this fatal mistake.
Actually doing quite a bit of it too, I'd say. Doing a warm excitement on the low frequencies, doing basically a rounded excitement, like an all-around one of them for like the rest of the frequencies over there. Pro Q, cutting out anything that's unnecessary.
Realities unfolding.
Taming that 200 hertz, like fundamental frequency over there.
Days, take back this fatal mistake.
Auto-tune, baby.
Why do you hold?
All right. I love this plugin. Man, I love it. It's great. It has such a cool sound. How did it sound without it?
Slowly. Realities unfolding.
Okay, so as you hear, I already did tune the vocals. So this is just there to kind of boost it up, give it more of that artificial auto-tune sound. It's really just for the sound.
Slowly.
See?
Realities unfolding.
Cashmere Essentials. Woo! A little bit of body, a little bit of clarity, a little bit of air, more compression, more pressure, some glue.
Slowly.
There it is.
Realities unfolding.
This is the hard hitter.
If only I could turn back the days, take back this fatal mistake.
Yeah. So this was the thing that really kind of took out all of the low frequencies. It basically gave kind of like that radio kind of tone that I was looking for. Then we got the Pro Multiband doing...
slowly.
Whoa! It's slowing down. Dang. Here we go. Let's check it.
If only I could turn back the days, take back this fatal mistake.
Okay, so yeah, maybe I realized that I probably took out too much of the low register, so I brought it back in. Look at me.
If only I could turn back the days, take back...
See, this is the reason why my CPU is so high. I'm so bad at backtracking to previous iterations of plugins to fix a problem because I just go and add a new plugin to fix the problem. My brain, I shouldn't be doing this. I should be doing proper stuff, but it is what it is. Pro L2, baby!
If only I could turn back the days, take back this fatal mistake.
Simply doing what it does best, just taming some of those really high transient frequencies. That's it. That's the vocal chain for this. So once again, just to hear it with and without. So this is without.
Reality's unfolding.
And now with.
Reality's unfolding.
Dang. Hell yeah. And we can continue with the track.
Folding. If only I could turn back the days, take back this fatal mistake. Why do you hold me? Woo! Like you always owned me.
Okay, so in terms of elements that I added some nice back vocals over here doing some high frequencies, but then I tame it down with a Foreman shifter. Check it out. Cool. Put a little bit of that, put that on a reverb send. Even my main vocal has some reverb sends going on over here.
Only I could turn back the days, take back...
It's got a short and a long reverb. Choir. Ooh, what's this? Ooh, yeah, okay, so this was a little thing that I was playing around with, some vocal shots. I don't usually just take some time to just make some vocal shots, but they end up kind of working really well as like custom effects, you know? We got the strings,
Turn back the day.
which are doing nothing here. Cool. Are doing something. Yeah.
Why do you hold me like you...
Ooh, contact. Okay, so that... Oh yeah, it's the Solstice, Albion Solstice Elder Bass. Awesome. Has such a cool, mid-rangey kind of style to it. Did some automation or modulation. See with the modulation bar. Just kind of playing around with the dynamics a bit. Yeah, so that's going to be kind of like this element that's going to keep coming back throughout the song. This modulation that flows over the span of 2 bars. It just goes up and goes down. And I do this as well with this guy. Now, what is that sound? Okay, so the synth string mono, this is a personal little plugin that you haven't really seen me use often, and it is an absolute shame that I don't. This is the Cycles instrument. This is without the RC20. Listen to this. Beautiful sounding super saw kind of, not even super saw, it just sounds like strings. It's like a synthetic strings. It's so beautiful. Cycles by Slate and Ash is this extremely powerful granular sampler. I'm not even going to go into it because it's so intense with what it can do. It's got so many cool elements to it, really high quality reverbs and delays. It's got a lot of character, basically. The presets on this are absolutely insane and phenomenal. Did a little bit of RC20 on it, you know. Didn't have to do much to it. It sounded gorgeous. Right? It's beautiful. Right?
Like you always owned me.
Put that with the bass. Pianos. Right? Oh. Yeah, so those are the elements going on in there. Did some extra little vocal elements going on over here.
Try to escape, you bring out the tape, then I
Harmony?
bite till it breaks. I must be insane, cause I try running.
And then it goes to the next section there. Other elements we got going on are, like I said, the little vocal throws. Yeah, those are ahs. They be the ahs. I put some choir stuff, choir bounce. What is this? Just more harmonies. And then with all these things. Very impromptu, very kind of like improvisational. I just kind of think I did some like one takes for that. Just try to get some notes and then pitched it after. We got another contact over here. What is this doing? Oh yeah, this is Spitfire again. Just some staccato strings to add some drive. And that's going to be kind of like a leading factor with some of the other elements that I incorporate into this part. Let me hear it.
I try running, come back crawling.
Yeah. Let me show you the other things that we got. We have this ARP thing that I created. So those are multiple different string instruments from all different places around the world. It's part of the East-West composer cloud that I'm set up with. And I found a bunch of kind of similar sounding string instruments and slowly modulated them upwards and downwards to kind of create a rise in the song. So you have that. And I put this guy on top to kind of create a bass. So that when these guys enter in, just takes over. Right? Cool. And then for the drums, I did the darbukas. Hell yeah. Just an instrument that I found from hammers. Such a good instrument. It's got a sound to it. This is how it sounds without the stuff. Cool. Very, very, very powerful. I use this free filter called Filter Jam by Audio Thing. Yeah, I was like, ooh, interesting harmonic thing going on. Very intense. This thing is kind of like a one-trick pony sometimes, where it can give you some really cool, wacky, filtery effects, but then gotta tame it with something. So I used the squasher. And the squasher, what I did is I just took that frequency over there, or else it would have been too much, see? Too much high end. And then it creates like a really cool, unique sound that is just completely different from the original thing. And then have the other additional stuff that shows up over here, like this. Got a wood block. It's a wood block. It's a wood block. Got the darbuka sticks. Increasing in energy. Got some other stuff all together.
Should be better than this. Spit the venom coming from your ivy lips.
So you're going to see there's some elements missing in this project because this is just one half of the project. I continued the rest and finished the rest of the project in 2 other project files. But let's get to the big meat and bones, the chorus.
Count me just to hate me, more love me just to play me. A devil in a pretty disguise. Think you could hurt me like you did before. Come back just to break me. Don't kiss me like it's right. Count me just to hate me, more love me just to play me. You're killing me from the inside. Then you go tell me that I'm always yours. Say that just to leave me so heartsick like you.
Yeah, so I love this part. Honestly, it's so hype. It's almost like a pre-chorus to the drop, right? It kind of acts as like this moment for you to start realizing, oh, dang, the energy's picking up. Because prior to that, it's like super low energy, super moody, super vibey. You're like, oh, where's it going? And then obviously it goes to this chorus and it's like, boom, it works. It's beautiful. There's somebody that commented where they felt that like, it's cool that I went into these projects and showed you guys this stuff, but they really wanted me to show how I created some of the sounds. I'm going to try to do my best with the basses this time around. The problem is with the way that I work, it's hard for me to show you so much in the span of like 40 minutes. And considering that I now kind of split my project between multiple different sessions, to go between each and every different section and like talk about all of the stuffs that go into it, it's a lot. Anyway, I'll do what I can. I'll do what I can over here. Let's start with the basses. Let's just hear the basses alone. Here we go. Hell yeah. For the basses, oh, it's the sub. I didn't do anything. How did it sound previous? Whoa, okay. Here are the effects. This is without it. It's a very powerful sub. So I'm like, all right, let's start with shtuff. So Shaperbox is doing quite a bit over here. It's starting off by creating a lot of noise on the high frequencies, a little bit of noise on the low frequencies. Yeah, I think. Oh no, actually, wait, the opposite. It's got a little bit of noise on both. Anyway, yeah, there's noise. Okay, there's noise. Period. And the noise is being filtered to go 120 hertz and up. So I'm doing a little kind of skew fold kind of style of distortion. There's the wavefold right there, looking nice and pretty. A little bit of drive. Doing nothing on the high end and nothing on the low end. Just this mid band. Just controls a little bit of those mid-range frequencies as well, right? And then, yes, the width. The width is all the juice. So in the low end, nothing. Completely mono. Don't want to play with the low end. But everything past that, I think it doesn't tell me the frequencies exactly, but this part I'm playing with a lot of weird kind of wide elements over here. And I'll explain why I'm doing this in a bit. We got the filter over here. So the bass is just kind of doing this thing. So already it's getting rid of a lot of the noise on the low frequencies. And then you got this one that's just fully open. So the idea is that it's creating just some movement. That's really what that Shaperbox is doing. You got Ozone Imager afterwards. Ozone Imager is just once again reiterating that I want the bass mono. Right? Without. It's just to kind of make sure, you know, reduce a little bit over here and keep this guy super open. Another Shaperbox. So now this Shaperbox is creating another filter again, filtering now the high frequencies, right? And doing a little bit of a volume curve over here. And the reason why I did this volume curve, it's very specific, but you're supposed to see it more like this. So this is like the start. I have like a little bump, and then this sidechain that goes on over here. And that's kind of like the crux of like the rhythm that goes. That's why like when you hear the actual song, you hear how it kind of goes like bum, bum, ba 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 bum, bum. That rhythm is all there. So that is there to create the rhythm. Then riff. Woo! Oh hell yeah! This is starting to create the tone. Using a little bit of phaser, using a little bit of phaser, that's it. Played with some teeth wave fold and growl on the positive side versus the negative. So this is all happening strictly on the higher frequencies. The low frequencies are untouched, so distortion and feedback is all strictly happening from 200 hertz and upwards. That's what that's doing. Doing some hard distortion. 4 stages of it, so it's like multiplying that by 4 stages, adding some drive. I have some a follow. So to kind of emphasize the elements of movement, I link the morph to the ADSR of that specific sound, so whenever it kind of goes up in its transients, you see how it shapes with it, and I thought that was really cool. Then the golden juice disperser. The disperser is giving that nice kind of like boink sound. I don't know what else to call it. It's giving the boink to the transients of the bass. You know, it's giving that boink boink, you know, kind of thing. You hear it? Without it? It's giving the boink. And then we got the ozone imager doing once again some cleaning up, because I'm pretty sure because of the disperser I brought in some like width or something into it. I don't know. Trap drive. Yeah, this is really kind of just distorting the hell out of it. So that's what that is. Pro multiband to do some more tone shaping, you know. So yeah, I wanted to get rid of a lot of that stuff and tame the higher end and the lower end. Squashed it, you know. Giving more of the high frequencies that I wanted, but without actually giving these high frequencies. Would have been too much. So we got that, and then LFO for some sidechaining to the bass, to the kick. And that is your boy. So from the beginning to the new part. If we go look at this meter over here. Nice and in phase, baby. So yeah, so that's the bass. I have this subharmonic thing. It's not, I guess my original intention was to get the same kind of distortion going on and treat that as a harmonic to add on top of the bass. But then I think I realized it would have been way too much, so I kind of treated it as its own thing. Added like a chorus element to it and stuff like that. All right, drums, the fun part. Ah, hee-haw, brother. Kick. The kick is this. The kick is coming from battery. So let's just go and mute strictly that kick. Yeah. And it's actually 2 different kicks. I recently got battery on discount because prior to I was cracking it. Kept that, loved it, and played with some of the soft kicks on like the offbeats and stuff like that. You got that. But then to go and emphasize that, I brought in the toms. And the toms are doing so much. Listen to this. Ooh. Without the kick. Not with the kick. All right. So once again, these toms, Hammers by Charlie Clouser. Spitfire Audio. Anyway, yeah. Great toms. decided, you know what, time to use them. Go for that more cinematic feel. Got the darbukas. And then we got some sticks, you know. A little bit of reverb on him. And we got some scrap metal also from hammers. The iron. Honestly, this was really why I wanted to get hammers. I wanted to get them for these more metallic sounds. And as you guys know, I love playing with swings and knives and all that stuff to kind of get that cool, cold kind of vibe. So it was perfect. And yeah, so we got all that. Other elements come in afterwards. My stadium clap from El Clapo that comes in nice over here. It's like a great kind of, listen to this all together. Woo! Aggressive, very powerful. So put it all together. Woo! Dang, that gives a lot of energy, right? So we got those. Let me go and mute the drums and the basses, and let's see what other elements are going on over here.
From the inside, then you go tell me, got me just to hate me, more love me just to play me, a devil in a pretty disguise.
Vocals. It's just exactly what I showed you. Tip classic Ymir vocals. I added some vocal doubler to kind of make it sound like it's doubled because I was too lazy to double it. But then I wasn't lazy because I did double them. I added these guys.
Got me just to hate me, more love me just to play me.
So like, I don't know. I just wanted to get more of like, I guess that doubly kind of effect, you know? And then second half of it, you know, you gotta bring up those high frequencies.
Got me just to hate me, more love me just to play me. You're killing me from the inside. Then you go tell me that I'm always yours.
Yeah, there you go. I wasn't dealing too much with like the timing of it. But you know, you got that. That's great. Underneath that, we got these Blisco Sul Tasto cello flutters. Listen to this. Beautiful. Ooh. Wonderful. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Following that idea that I had of the big pulse that happens over 2 bars of wow, you know. Yeah, that's Blisco. I probably put a vocal doubler on it, probably put an altar boy on it. It's typical things I would do. And then we got the synth string mono. Yes, that is the crux of the mid-range, the low mid-range, so we kept that in there. And then we had the chorus lead. Hell yeah. To add to that, we have the vocodex. Bounce over here. What is this? Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so I got vocodex from ImageLine, FL Studios. I'm going through the craze that everybody's going through for color bass, so I decided, you know what, let me try to learn a little bit of vocodex to kind of get that color bass aesthetic going on. But obviously, vocodex isn't like, if it's not in FL Studios, using it the normal way is really inefficient, and it's kind of like Cubase kind of loses like a few brain cells trying to do it, because it's like, oh, I don't know how to do this. So I had to do this weird different thing where you would go and just do, I think it's called LR encoding. Basically, you create like a group bus, and you have 2 different elements, one that is completely panned left, one is completely panned right. So let me see if I can show you these 2 bad boys. Yeah, there we go. I can show you these 2 bad boys. Woo! So that is a bass, as you can hear. And it's a damn thick bass. Random bass that I made, I think. What did I do? Yeah, just some basic shapes. Doing a little FM modulation to oscillator A. Nothing else, really. Just very clean, very simple. And then you got this thing called I Have No Clue. Because I seriously don't have any clue. What is it? Oh! Okay, so it's a piano that is like super staccato. Kind of bent it. Went and panned him. Hard left, hard right. add them into the vocodecs, and look what you get. Cool. Tweaked with a few little of the knobs, added some extra bands, played around with it, added a squasher, added a Pro Q to get rid of some of that high stuff, vocal doubler, disperser, Pro Q, squasher. Without, now with. Cool. So you add that to the glorious chorus lead. And yeah, you get a beautiful thing. Cool. And then obviously let's go and all together it.
Me and more love me just to play me a devil in a pretty disguise. Think you could hurt me like you did, but
cool. And that keeps going.
then you go tell me that I'm
And we get to the drop. So the drop, this was the first thing that I came up with. I was trying to go through the whole writer's block. I'm like, all right, I'm going to make a bunch of drops and see if one kind of sticks. And this one was sick. I mean, what am I going to say? It sounded so cool, you know? So got the vocodecs bounce. Back in there, you got some flute, some acoustic instruments, and you put the monster bass, I called it, basically. It's just an iteration of the monster bass here, I think filtered. Have some of the harmonics here at the beginning. And this is supposed to complement the these new added piano stabs that I put. Which are there for some high-end frequencies. Got the Blisco cello. No, wrong thing. This, but yeah. Right. And then I know I had something else somewhere around here. Where are the strings? I had the strings as well. What? Where are my strings? Ah, there they are. Okay. Yeah, these are the strings that are going on over here. So just really powerful, very full strings doing the pulse. High octave, and you go complement that with the cellos. Wait, these cellos? Complement with the bass. Yeah. They sound so nice and full and lush, and it's like, ooh, it's so nice and pulsy. So that happens. You got the cool little blah, 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 which is a vocal chop. It's this guy. All right, so originally... Yeah, I don't know how it sounded.
Say what you wanted, I feel what you got it. I don't even shut it for life. I don't want all the new face.
Oh yeah, it was a melody I was trying that I didn't end up sticking with at all. So I just went and chopped it instead. I was like, all right, well, I don't know what to do with it. I don't have any like actual words that I want to throw into it. So I chopped it, added some ripped, aggressive altar boy for some formant, smooth operator, Pro Q, take out the high frequencies, shaper box for some noise, Pro Q, V clip, yeah. Limiter, MB, And yeah, and that's the sound of that. I went and layered it with this thing. Some half-assed vocal choir stuff, just to kind of make it sound a little bit more human. And put a little bit of Blisco. And other stuff. This thing, what is this? Yeah, so that, and then you put this, and then you put this, and then you put this, and then you get this. So like these super hype leads, you know? Yeah, and then we got this weird drone voice thing. I have no clue what it is, how I made it. I don't know, added some low-end frequency, so I was like, cool, throw it in. And that is the drop. After the drop, we get to the verse.
Get me out, mentally becoming jaded. Had enough, even if I try to escape. You bring out the tape, I don't think this could change. I'm going insane, cause I tried running.
Yeah, so now that I introduced that cool drum thing, I was going to keep the drums, kind of like, you know, play around with it a little bit. I really didn't do too much. The vocal thing, the drone, had just the one voice in there. I had this, those guys to kind of introduce that swell, keep that going as like an element. The monks. Oh yeah, the monks. So this is what I teased on Instagram like a few weeks ago. The monks. Just some vocals that I went and tried to sound like some, I don't know, some church monks. Sounded really nice. And here are some of the throws that I mentioned. You know, stuff to kind of add as like little moments and things like that. Then we got, what else do we got? Some vocals, obviously.
Get me out, mentally
some little actions there, high octaves.
Had enough,
and then harmonies.
If I try to escape, you bring out the tape. I don't think this could change. I'm going insane, cause I tried running. Now I'm crawling. All I can do is submit. Barely have the strength to spit the...
Yeah, there's some weird fluttery kind of sounding... Yeah, but they were in there, so whatever. Have these choirs. Very verby. And I have these guitars that come in later on. Yeah, just some guitars I decided to play. Half-assedly, of course. And then quantize later, because I'm not a guitarist.
Someone said, think this could change. I'm going insane, cause I tried running.
Bass. Sounds like it's kind of phasing in and of itself. It's kind of cool. And we got this cool little art bus. Yeah, this is the previous art bus. Just kind of going and building, right?
Woo, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, so during this time I also added some... Hell yeah. So these are some strings that I went and like cut out, made the transient super sharp, took out some of like the other elements, make it sound super staccato, squashed them. And then I went and exported that, put up a vocal doubler, did some pitch bending. It reminded me of Burn the Witch. That song, Burn the Witch by Radiohead. The I always wanted to try to recreate that because it's so cool. And that worked really well with the arps, right? Check these out. The darbukas. Right? Made a nice little element there. And obviously with the vocals, you know what we do. We go ham.
To come if my life comes undone, who'll be next in the line when they gaze in your eye?
Yes, I had to scream. I had to scream. You want to hear the scream alone? Here's a scream alone.
Next in the line when they gaze in your eye.
Tough scream to do. Luckily, I wasn't awake late at night for this one. I did it at good times. Good times. Back weird bounce. What is this? Oh, it's just some bees. It's the bees. Yeah, that's what that is. The pre-verse, pre-chorus stuff, and then you get the second chorus.
Got me just to hate me, and wanna love me just to play me. A devil in a pretty disguise. Think you could hurt me like you did before. Come back just to break me. Don't
Same
kiss
stuff.
me like it's fine. Got me just to hate me, and wanna love me just to play me.
I don't think I really did much to the chorus in terms of the instrumental. Maybe I kind of like added some extra strings and stuff to kind of bring in some high end. Maybe I brought in some shakers. Did I bring in some shakers? Let me see. Maybe I did. Hell yeah! I brought in some shakers! Let's go! Some shakers that I recorded myself. Really proud of those shakers, I am. And got some weird piano stabbies. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's the stab piano that I made before. And I just want to reverse them, put some like reverb, alter boy, trap drive. Yeah, so it's there doing those things. And of course, ya boys gotta do some harmony.
Just to break me, don't kiss me like it's fine. Got me just to hate me, more love me just to play me. You're killing me from the inside. Then you go tell me that I'm always yours. Say that just to leave me so hard.
I also added this little guitar thing. Yeah. Very indie sounding guitar. But I kind of tucked it into the mix.
Don't kiss me like it's fine. Got me just to hate me, more love me.
And then you get to the part before the drop. Same stuff. Yeah, this part is all the same stuff. Didn't change much, just added more vocals and stuff like Right? Just some little background stuff to kind of really emphasize that new section. So this is one of the cool things I've learned about like kind of writing in a pop style over the years is you can kind of like just have a really solid instrumental basis. And then if you want, if you have a really good vocalist, you can embellish a lot with just vocals. Because once again, one of the most, if not the most important thing in a pop song is the vocals. It's the thing that is always at the forefront, like always like hundreds of dBs loud. Okay, not hundreds, but quite a bit louder than the rest of the production. And it's for a reason. It's the thing that's supposed to capture the attention and the emotion of the listener, right? So you can get away with doing a heck ton of vocal production and vocal sound design and literally keep just the instrumental more or less the same. It hasn't changed. Like if you listen to drop 1 here without any vocals, and then drop 2, exact same thing. But the only thing that's changing, that's really creating a lot of the drama, is the vocal, right? Drop 1. And then drop 2.
So heartsick while you fade into the night.
Right. That is the song almost in a nutshell. I'm just going to show you a little bit of the outro and show you a little part that I missed. These little things. Let's start with this thing. So just to kind of create a little bit of like funky sound design stuff, that little intro right before the drop.
Heartsick while you fade into the night.
All right, so if you look over here, you can already see what's going on. You can already see what type of a guy I am. You can already see you can see it. You can see it. You can ignore it if you want, but you can see it. You need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need 5. Specifically 5 dispersers. It's the vocal. Fade into the night. You know, it's just that. Put some RC20, alter boy, shaper box to go do some weird kind. I think the shaper box to create that movement. 30,000 dispersers, little alter boy, squasher, pro Q, and some reverb. Actually, not even some reverb. I'm treating this realm as kind of like a cloud back vocal thingamajig. You got that, and then second time around here. I think I'm using shaper box in this instance, probably with like a little automation, to go and have a really fast flutter, you know, just like an LFO that's just like that. So, and alter boy automated to kind of like shape and ebb and flow into the section, right? Like that. Yeah, those are those little points. And once again, those are like little moments. And then the end.
Into the night.
That's it. Just slightly change the pitch to make it feel more conclusive and cut everything. And that is the production/arrangement/sound design session of this project. After this, there is actually a lot of extra things I've done to it in the mixing session. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the mixing session and the mastering session as separate videos. Now, I'm not too sure because I am still contemplating the Patreon idea. That could be something that I could leave as a Patreon thing. It is a lot of extra work because already with this, I'm hitting about an hour and 20 minutes of footage. But just to kind of end this section off, you may have noticed that I don't have many effect sounds, right? Those effect sounds, like all the whooshes and the swings and the booms and all of those things, those are like icing on the cake. And one thing I personally learned that I think worked really well is learning to make the song sound good without all of those extra bells and whistles before I introduce them. So that was kind of like the main goal of this arrangement/composition/sound design session. And then later on, I would go and in the mixing session actually and start going to like edit and add more stuff. So that is the first session of this song. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just let me know if you guys want to see maybe some more content associated to the song in terms of maybe the mixing and the mastering, because I am thinking of a Patreon. I want to see if maybe it might be better to set that up with a Patreon. You guys let me know if you want to see that, if you want to see even me having a Patreon and stuff like that. This time around, you guys got a chance to see the arrangement and a little bit more of the sound design, which I'm really happy of. I think it's probably a better thing that I show you how the sounds are created so you can kind of get a grasp of a little bit of like where my brain goes when it comes to like, you know, thinking up sound stuff. But I hope you enjoyed this stuff. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. This is Ymir. I hope you have a wonderful day. Yeah. A wonderful day. A wonderful night. A wonderful evening and afternoon delight. I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao, ciao.